this Friday. I thought we'd do things a little bit different today, and obviously the market's a tricky place at the moment, so thought it'd be interesting to chat to Shaun and Greg and just see what they do at times like this and their thoughts and strategies to an extent. So maybe you start off with you, Shaun. How would you summarize the market at the moment?
The last couple of weeks have been good. There's every night it seems like overseas markets are up, and I think we've now priced in that the war is over, which is pretty risky because we know our mate Donald could click his fingers and anything could happen. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have made back a lot of lost money, and it's good to see there are a lot of raisings, which is great. I would say the bidding on our side is still a bit weak because people are still cautious. But I do think if we keep going up, and I mean, S&P closed at a record high this week. So yeah, hopefully that brings people back in.
Okay, excellent. And Greg, you know, at this sort of time where there's that growing confidence, you know, what does that look like out there, you know, in terms of what you're seeing sort of investors, traders doing out there at the moment?
Well, I think that one of the areas is when you're looking at a sector or companies, what the first question to ask is, would I buy more if it came down in price, and am I willing to handle volatility? And more specifically, I'm looking right now at uranium, because uranium, the underlying commodity price around mid $80 a pound, is being very steady. But when you look at the underlying supply demand, I think no matter what happens, whether something comes to a conclusion in the next day or the next year, clearly we are short clean energy. And clearly there's going to be big investment. And now you're also getting at least some base in the underlying commodity.
Okay. And Shaun, are you also sort of taking like a sector-specific view like that, or are you sort of...
No, so I haven't, unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, because I don't know if I would have picked the sectors that Greg has, but Greg has been spot on. Greg and I have been speaking over the last few weeks frequently. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you seeing? And I've gone more an index approach where I was pretty confident that eventually the market would bounce back, but I didn't have any stocks to pick, any sectors to really focus on. So I kind of went that bigger thematic, and obviously my returns have been lower. But yeah, I mean, Greg, how did you pick it? Like you have picked it right, and what stocks specifically, what sizes have you gone for?
Well, as I said, it starts out with that conviction about what would I buy more of if it came down in price. And then we were looking at, like, say, some gold companies where we were talking about Challenger as an example, CEL. To give you that, my feeling was there's like a lot of money coming into that share price. It's starting to stabilize out. And it's also fundamentally, they're in a very interesting spot because the developer section has been very strong now, really for the last 4 to 5 months. So it wouldn't be an overnight success. So just looking at when I pile on those layers, that's what's giving me confidence.
And the one sector that is really performing well as well is lithium,
Yes.
Which is really great for investors because it's a sector that a lot of investors made and lost a lot of money on. But we've seen the mid and large caps really come back. Some of the small lithium companies, I think investors are now looking at quality, and there's a lot of crap in the market, the bottom end of the market,
Yes.
but the mid-size have really bounced back.
Okay, and
Shaun, and just to,
yeah.
I have to interrupt for a moment. Shaun, you said it a couple of weeks ago, go for the liquid companies on their downturns. Is that still your feeling?
Of course, yeah. The illiquid ones still haven't really bounced. I'm holding a few of them. They just won't move. No matter how good the market gets, they may never bounce back, some of these illiquid companies. It really needs a fire, something to ignite a fire, and then they tend to move.
So Shaun, I guess for some people that aren't as experienced as you and are holding some of those illiquid ones, what sort of mentality do you suggest sort of when they look at that in their portfolio? What's the mentality you sort of suggest you look at those?
It's really tough because you just got to toughen it out. It's like when you follow a football team that's up, and then just completely stop and lose, and there's no hope. You've just got to be tough and don't know, just maybe get out, think buy your bots, and if that's still the reason, then maybe hold. But yeah, I'm stuck in quite a few.
Just one more question for you, Greg. You know, it sounds like you've been great at sort of getting some success in this time in the market. What's your sort of routine before the market opens? You get in the morning, you sit down in front of the screen. Like, what are you doing?
Good question. Every day, and I've done this for years and years, I always look at where the U.S. market closed overnight. Also, every sector within that market, where's the leadership coming from? Is it financials? Is it tech? Is it energy? Where was the leadership? And then I try to think about where would that follow through here in Australia every day.
Thanks, Greg. Really good thoughts, and thanks to you, Shaun, as well. Yeah, for me, I'm a bit more of a conservative investor, so it's just a careful watch for me at the moment, and doing a lot of simulation watching and things like that. So just really sort of almost back of the envelope testing.
Sure.
In this situation. I think this is a good thing to do, but seeing whether I was right, still being in very much a learning mode, talking to people like you guys out there, and really just learning how to deal with different situations of different market climates and things like that. So thanks everyone for listening in, and hopefully there was some great thoughts and advice. Love to hear your ideas as well. Feel free to share them in the comments, reach out to us at any time, and have a fantastic weekend. Thanks everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.